time.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.,
Son of a gun.
Matt Hayes,
His balls are different in person.
Mia O'Brien,
I don't know what they're doing.
and Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Welcome in Thursday, the short shift, but we have got your Jacksonville Jaguars to talk about as they get ready for the Cleveland Browns on the road. Will he or won't he? You know that's going to be the question that we will be tearing into today, that's for sure. But on a Thursday, let me just start it off with that Modelo Yellow. Because we had such a good time yesterday at the Golf Club of Southampton. Thanks to all who brought toys yesterday and played in the tournament. The XL Primetime Christmas, just another outstanding event. Beautiful weather. It was cold at the end of the day when that sun was going down, but everybody had a great time. Thanks to, Beaver Toyota, Sunny, so many of our folks that are always out there helping us. We totally appreciate it.
Did you get a chance to ask Matty Modelo? Modelo Matty.
Yeah.
What the hell happened with his hair? It
had-
was down past his shoulders last time we saw
He had
him.
the long flowing locks. He was straight air guitar in it.
Yes.
He was Guitar Hero.
Now
And
shaved.
then he blazed it.
See, I hate guys like that.
Yeah, he blazed it.
If you have the hair, flaunt it.
Oh yeah. And
Flaunt it.
He had a good look going for
Just
a while.
for us guys that don't have it, flaunt it. Man.
So I definitely appreciate the North Florida Sales Boys, the Coronas, the Corona Cats. They were all out there having a good time. The Marines played in our tournament, which they
Nice.
had a great time, and we got them up at the end of the night. And Derek and everybody at the Golf Club Southampton did such a great job, and it was just just a lot of good people, and probably forgetting to thank some of them, but really appreciate everybody. And then we even had folks bring toys here yesterday.
Nice.
So we'll make sure that they go and are donated to the Marines. So if you still have them, you can drop them off, but we will make sure that they get in the hands of those children. That's for sure. So we have got that ultimate question that I don't know that any of us know the answer, including the guy who's going to tell you whether he is going to play and suit up on Sunday. I don't think Trevor Lawrence has the answer of whether or not he's going to play on Sunday. But it seems to me, and it seems to everybody else out there, that he is bawling to get back health-wise so he can play on Sunday. Risky. Leon, we kind of let off our show yesterday, and then the news that he was going to do the presser. We've had Doug talk about it and Trevor talk about it. I don't know that we know the answer. What do you think?
Well, I mean, a player in this situation always has to be protected from himself. He's a franchise player. Trevor Lawrence is the face of the franchise, and the last thing you want him to do is go out there and re-aggravate the injury. So what you want to accomplish is that you want, if he can go, let him go. If he can't go, then you just got to sit him down for a week.
We got a big one. JJ?
Oh.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is why you don't keep a coach because you're worried about a recruiting class. Florida running back Trevor Etienne has entered the NCAA transfer portal. And there will be more coming. And these guys are leaving. And Princely Umamielen, who yesterday somebody asked him, hey, if coaches change, if the defensive staff change, would you return? And he said yes. So this is why everybody's panicking about a recruit. You can't.
So
you can't
Farley
fire
is
him.
to blame.
Yeah,
for,
well,
we
clearly.
said-
So here's the thing. We say over and over about you can't fire a coach. What about the recruiting class? Who cares about a recruiting class? If you get the right coach, you'll keep the recruiting class.
You would think.
It's just it's so
right, so-
short-sighted what's going on right now in games.
Yeah,
So short-sighted.
Well, and I
He's
guess
not the last one either.
right. I was going to say short-sighted.
I thought you were
or-
going to say Lagway when we hit the that.
Yeah, that's
No,
big.
it was the one that we've been hearing rumblings about for what, 2-3 weeks
And-
at this
at
point.
least 10
Eugene
days or
Wilson's
so.
going to be next. I'm telling you that right now.
And if
Who
Eugene
is?
Wilson goes,
Eugene Wilson will be
what do you
next.
do then?
They've already made their decision.
Well, you've lost. Okay, if you were to lose Trey Wilson, who was one of the more dynamic players on the offensive side
Second
of
to
football.
this guy who's already in the portal.
And heck, I wouldn't hesitate to even say maybe Eugene Wilson's the most dynamic player over Trevor Etienne, because as a freshman he stepped on the football field and immediately, when healthy, dominated. Remember, we were probably into their 7th or 8th game, and every target he had caught. Okay? Think about that. And so I would put him up at the top. And if he does go into the transfer portal, Gator fans, you guys are aware of this. You're keeping track of it. We're going to do a little transfer portal chatter coming up in a little bit. But losing Trevor Etienne is no bueno. It's just it sends a signal that Billy doesn't have a good grip on his roster.
Well, it also sends to the rest of the players.
Mm-hmm.
If they're thinking, wait, Trevor's out of here?
Yeah.
What do you think they're thinking?
That's the first group that sends a signal to.
And then the recruiting class.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've said this over and over and over. You worried about the recruiting class? Hire Lane Kiffin. You think they keep the recruiting class then? Of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
You think they keep Trevor Etienne then? Of course they do.
You would think so, yeah.
me
I
a
know you're
break.
trying to fire Billy faster than anybody else.
No,
but,
I'm not. No.
Yeah,
My
but-
point is this. If you are worried about losing players,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if that's the only reason why you're keeping a coach, that's absolutely ridiculous.
That I agree with.
And the other part that's going to hurt is where do we think Trevor Etienne is going? Because that is even more of a referendum then on the University of Florida.
Because if he goes, you're saying if he goes
Alabama.
to the enemy.
If he goes to Alabama, if he goes
Georgia.
to
Georgia?
He's not leaving Florida without going to a major program.
Put it this
You know
way,
that.
his parents
Kentucky?
That's true.
His
You
parents-
said
program.
His parents moved.
Missouri?
His parents moved to the Jacksonville area because they wanted to be close to him and Travis.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
FSU?
it's a 1-year flyer because I would assume if he performs well, he's going to be draft eligible at the end of this upcoming season.
Correct.
So it's essentially a 1 year away from home, quote unquote.
And especially after Trey Benson starred up in Tallahassee these last couple of years as a transfer portal success out of Oregon. He was one of the first ones when you go back and think about it. Actually, the first one was Jermaine Johnson that really moved.
How do we feel about guys going from Florida to Florida State,
I
man?
know.
That would be
it
the
would
end
be
of football
phenomenal.
as
No, it
college
wouldn't. It would be
football.
phenomenal.
I'm sorry.
Dude, hey,
That's
listen,
a disgrace.
it's already over the end of college football
But
as
that
we know
is
it.
next level
Yeah.
disrespect.
Because
man.
it doesn't, nothing matters anymore.
What if he goes to Miami? Is it next level disrespect?
Well, we have
then?
Brock Berlin.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I can think of in the whole history of these three schools
And
of like guys.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you if you went to Miami, would it still be disrespect?
Yeah, to Florida it would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
Would
and-
I accept him with open arms? You're damn right.
Yeah,
bro.
and the other next level part of this is that Florida State play every year. Now Florida and Miami are going to play, so that definitely would have that extra layer to it. But he's going to be smart enough to look around and pick a good
Oh,
spot.
absolutely, yeah. And we know at least if he goes to Florida State, he's going to get more touches than he did at Florida.
Yeah, you want to divvy him up?
Yeah, divvy up the touches.
So the other part of this is the Gator fans who, much like Billy Napier, are drawing that line in the sand and standing firm and saying that if you fired the coach, ETN and company would have gone to the portal anyways.
No, they wouldn't have. That is
Well,
the
what about
most
Texas
short-sighted.
A&M?
That's
That
the
is the
thing.
most short-sighted way of thinking I've ever seen.
Well, Texas A&M is an example of what Mia just
Or-
said. I mean,
or-
everybody is leaving Texas A&M since Jimbo's been
Because they
well,
didn't have.
no, they're leaving since Mike Elko was hired. If you hire the
No.
right guy, they're not leaving.
Yeah, what would keep them from not at least being interested in what Mike Elko is going to bring there? Because what he brought to Duke was he's a defensive guy. He brought an exciting offense. to
I
Duke.
don't disagree. Look, I don't disagree, and I'm not saying Mike Elko's not a good coach. I think he's a very good coach.
certainly not exciting.
If you're a player on that team,
The individual.
you're
is
not first talking to the coach before jumping out.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not just jumping out. These guys all spoke with him. The majority of them spoke with him.
At least they made a fairly fast hire, so if they were going to save anything. And I think what we're saying is that if you do fire your coach, then everyone hits the pause button. Everybody does. The players that are there and the
Of course
players
you
that are
do.
supposedly
Of course
coming.
you do,
So
yes.
then you obviously have to say, hey, this is the guy we're bringing in. Then you start to salvage things. You salvage guys in the building. You salvage guys that are coming into the
And
building.
again, they go to the portal. It doesn't mean they can't come back.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Well, I mean, if you get the right coach,
All I know
it
is
absolutely
that
could
all I know is
happen.
that as a rule, we are seeing 1,000 go in and about 300 and some come out with a new team that are of the bigger name variety. There's so many of them that are just sitting out there that end up taking a bad situation because they thought they were going to go get scooped up by somebody and they weren't.
Okay, so at what point with the young good players on this program, at what point when these guys all start to move, okay? Because this is just the beginning, Trevor Etienne. So these guys start to move, then at what point do you say, okay, something's wrong here, maybe something should have happened?
Well, I
Instead of
think
just,
I do think they know that already.
All right.
They
It's the hot
just aren't
dog
doing
meme.
anything about it.
It's the guy in the hot dog costume meme. We're all trying to figure out who did this.
Yeah. And so Scott Strickland has got to feel a massive amount of pressure. We know this. The athletics director, he's the one who said this is the guy. And just to remind you of history, at least as our Matt Hayes has indicated to us strongly, is that Scott Strickland zeroed in on Billy Napier. That was his choice, and did not make overtures to Lincoln Riley or Brian Kelly, who both were on the move.
Both were interested.
Is there anything wrong with what I said, Matt?
No,
Yeah.
and frankly, I don't blame Scott for that. That was the guy he chose. He thought that was the right guy. But just because you think it's the right guy after 2 years of 11 and 14, and you clearly have a track record now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we are and it is in a business of winning games right now.
Yeah,
that's the business you're in, winning games. Period.
The track record is you've lost more than you won, and you haven't looked so good doing it. You've pulled off one impressive win. Name the impressive wins that he's gotten to this point.
Utah and Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I was going to say one per year, both in Gainesville. He was winless on the road until he finally, struck oil with the win against South Carolina. I think that was the one.
Well, I mean, they're like, what are they like? They're like 11 and 14 overall. I think they're like 9 and 14 against Power 5 teams, or 8 and 14 against Power 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's,
all right.
I mean,
not good.
that's
Not good.
By the
All
way,
right.
also, just FYI, Michigan's working on an extension with Jim Harbaugh that will pay him $11 million a year.
If
He's in the middle of 2 NCAA investigations, and they're going to pay him $11 million a year.
And according to our friend Richard Johnson from SI, the only thing that is standing in the way of that is Jimmy writing and signing on the dotted line saying, "I will not pursue an NFL job."
Yeah.
Can he bring himself to do that, though?
Now, what if they get just mollywopped by Alabama, which I expect to happen?
Yeah, I kind of
like,
feel that
would
way,
he
too.
just bounce after that?
Yeah.
Be like,
Is he going to wait to sign it until after that?
Yeah,
date?
exactly.
In other words, are you saying that they're going to offer him something like Michigan State offered our dude Mel Tucker way too early? Now, Harbaugh's been around. Harbaugh's proven it, but they are worried that he's going to leave, and they're worried that he can't commit. This is The Bachelor, and the Bachelor's like they don't want him to leave.
But is he thinking like, well, this is my ceiling. I can get them to the playoffs every year, but I just can't beat these SEC teams.
You might think that in about a month, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly, yeah. Because and hey, the AD might, even though they're trying to make sure that they don't lose him, because there would already be NFL movement at that point if he were to decide to go in that direction. All right, so we're going to stay on this. Let's talk a little more college football. Get back to the Trevor question. Will he play? Because we definitely want to set it up where you guys can let us know. Is it foolish that he puts himself at risk, especially when you don't know what your left tackle situation is? So we'll get into all that coming up. It is XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. He's a defender of the faith.
Here it comes, and he gets a strip sack again.
Superior Fence and Rail highlights the defensive player of the game.
Ball is loose.
On 1010XL, Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Whether it's a large commercial project or a multifamily property, trust All Pro Roofing for exceptional craftsmanship and unparalleled customer service. We use only the finest materials, ensuring durability and long-lasting results. Plus, All Pro Roofing now has a full siding and windows division. That's right, All Pro Roofing is not just about roofs anymore. All Pro Roofing, now your trusted partner for commercial roofing, multifamily projects, exterior siding, and windows. AllProRoofingLLC.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
What's more important than putting up the Christmas decorations? Making sure your home's plumbing is working properly before the holidays. Mia here for my friends at Duck Duck Rooter. If you have a septic tank at your home, you are going to want to have it pumped out ahead of Christmas. Don't wait until you have a septic emergency. Get your septic tank clean now. Duck Duck Rooter can get it taken care of this week for you. Call them today at 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
Hacker here, and look, football season is in full swing, and no game day setup is complete without the Sausage Dude sausage. I'm a sausage guy, and the Sausage Dude sausage is the best sausage I've ever had. Try their 4 terrific flavors: including Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with jalapeno, and my personal favorite, the Italian today, by picking them up at any Publix in the Jacksonville area. Football and sausage, it's a winning combination. Go get the Sausage Dude sausage at any Publix in the Jacksonville area right now.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Say goodbye to your home's plumbing problems. The professionals at Fenwick Home Services are always ready to help. Whether your home has clogged toilet or drains or dripping faucets, no hot water, or other issues, our experts offer zero-fee, 24-hour emergency plumbing solutions. Plus, you can save up to 20%. That's right, 20% on your next plumbing service. Visit FenwickHomeservices.com or call right now, 904-604-9156.
Bob Arablo here, president of your Jacksonville Icemen. Thanks to the doctors and staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, our team is well taken care of. We're proud to be associated with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is ready to help you too. We'd like to thank the coaches and schools who trust in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Hey gang, Prosser here for Chad and Sandy. When it comes time to sell your home, those are the names you need to remember. Maybe you think you have a problem related to selling your home. Well, I can give you a promise. New for 2023, your home sold, guaranteed, or they will buy it at chadandsandy.com. I've got plenty of proof of the successes to tell you about. Maybe you need more space for your office or growing family. Well, Chad and Sandy are the only real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home. Okay? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed upon price at a deadline or they will buy it. Jordan and Victoria live on the north side. They say we wanted to move to a more family-friendly home with land and be close to our parents. We were ready to move, but anxious the market would move slow. Not for Chad and Sandy. Our home sold in 5 days for full asking price. Call the only agents we trust and guarantee. Call 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's ChadandSandy.com.
Need cash and have surfboards, guitars, power tools, or sports equipment? Come sell to Chuck and get top dollar. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Life's expensive. Free yourself from unused items at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
We do promise we will get to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and will he or will not he will not. Struggling with words. I'm blaming the coffee.
Will he or won't he?
Will he or won't he? That is the question. Trevor Lawrence, playing or not playing on Sunday in that nasty weather in Cleveland. But before we get to that, A bit of a that on the breaking front. No, not transfer portal news.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mostly doing this because I need to get Leon and JJ's reaction to Manny Diaz in line to become the next head coach of the Duke Blue Devils.
We're finally going to beat Duke, Leon.
Exactly. I don't know. Defensively, they're going to be tough, but no, he did outstanding
he
job.
Deserves it.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And you have to give him credit for what he has done in terms of just kind of reclaiming his position in college football.
Yeah, I never had a problem with Manny defensively. I mean, he kept Miami was stellar defensively as a coach, but offensively, I don't know.
A decent recruiter as
well.
well.
He was a decent.
He's
a decent recruiter. I'm just concerned. Is he going to come on a float with a cigar in his mouth like
he's
he did
almost like a younger Muschamp, really?
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great defensive coordinator, great recruiter.
Yeah.
Just doesn't get it offensively.
Yeah, I think just be able to pull it all together.
And, of course, we can't forget that his roots were that he was a production assistant at ESPN. Fun facts if you didn't know that one. I think what is great for Manny with this hire is that, as we found with Mike Elko, and we've seen with our boy Mark Stoops in the program, it's a basketball school. If you can have success on the football gridiron,
you could live there for a long
gravy.
time.
If you win 8-9 games a year, they will keep you employed until the cows come home.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some bad blood when Miami plays Duke. That'll be even more interesting since we fired.
Yeah. Well, he has
bad blood.
Yeah. Why not?
Really? With Duke?
That's where we are right now.
You're going to make bad blood.
That's where we are right
that's
now.
Where our main rivals.
That's our main rivals now. All right.
And be honest.
The money has fallen.
If you're being
what
real,
the hell is going on?
I have
Seriously,
no idea.
Florida can't keep its
Duke.
best player. You're talking about having a rivalry with Duke. What is going
if
on?
you're being real,
SMU
it's a couple of basketball schools trying to play football.
Exactly.
You're being real.
That's
right?
where we are right now.
Florida State can't get in the playoffs.
We're not going to talk about Miami's trip to Kentucky on the hardwood last
We've
year.
gone farther than Duke in basketball in, I think, 2 straight years.
You have
Yeah.
indeed.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people who think, despite that loss at Kentucky last week, Coach L is going to take them back to the promised land this April.
Yeah, toe-to-toe, head-to-head. Now, we do need to work in some of the transfer portal news, so we might as well do it right now because when you're talking about Leon, pull up your list. You're talking about guys, and let's just at least start with one that does sound a heck of a lot. It's very appealing. This is not a great guy, but a guy that has done some good things talking about going to Miami.
Yeah, well, I was on the internet and I put up some transfer portal predictions. Since all the money is going to be spent on these quarterbacks, it's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be moving, changing their addresses. So I pulled this up, and this is just predictions. There's nothing that's validated, but they've got Riley Leonard from Duke. They've got him going to – I'm going to ask Matt Hayes. They got him going to Notre Dame. Would that be a good fit?
Hell of a fit.
Hell of a fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that one's pretty
on
set in
lock.
Riley
stone.
Leonard's going to be a hell of a fit
Taking
anywhere.
an official visit this week, and that's the only official visit that he's taking.
All right. Well, then we've got out of Oklahoma, we've got Dylan Gabriel going to Oregon.
Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel leads, like in other words, he has had
He's a lefty, right?
great
The lefty
success
out of
wherever
Oregon.
he's been.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
UCF to Oklahoma, and still, like
He's
we said,
a prolific quarterback,
Yeah,
man. He has
but
125 career touchdown passes.
yeah, because these guys have 7 years of records in college. It's just nuts. But he is one fun cat to watch play the game.
No, but Matt, with these guys leaving, is it more exposure? Is it more money? What is it as far as these guys
I think
going?
it's a combination. It's money, but I think it's also some of them just want to win.
Yeah.
Like some of them literally just want to win.
Well,
They're tired
Oklahoma,
of
what?
losing.
Oklahoma, what? Was 9-3 this year? 10-2, something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
the last 2 years though, no
Yeah.
bueno.
Okay, all right.
6-6 and 9 and whatever they were, 9-3.
Well, last year they got hammered. You know,
Yeah,
Brett
they got
Venables
hammered.
coming in for the first time. They definitely got hammered.
Okay, now we got Will Howard out of Kansas State going to SC.
Southern Cal.
Southern Cal.
Okay.
Southern Cal.
And that's a good player too now. Does he match up with Lincoln Riley, whoever the next coach is at Southern Cal?
That's a little odd to me. I don't know that I see him going to SC. I think Lincoln's going to shoot much higher.
Okay.
Because I also don't think we're at the point where these are the only quarterbacks going.
Yeah, and is this an indication that Lincoln Riley won't be there?
Yeah, well, these quarterbacks, I guess they have them. These are the top 10 quarterbacks coming out that are hitting the portal.
Right.
Okay, at number 4, they've got Cam Ward out of Washington State going to Ohio State.
That's the guy that allegedly had $10 million plus.
Yeah, that's the dude. Okay.
That's a
Before
dude
he
that
even hit
fits
the
Lincoln
portal.
Riley's. That's a dude that fits Lincoln Riley's.
So he'll be more of a guy to go to the SC.
Yeah,
more of a fit. Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to get him. I'm just saying that's a better fit for what he's doing. The run and shoot type guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got your guy, DJ Ukulele. Did I say it right?
Ukulele.
Ukulele. I still can't get it right.
Ukulele.
Ukulele. Okay. All right, ukulele. They got him going to Florida State.
Coming back into the ACC.
Coming back to the
I don't know that
ACC.
FSU would do that. I think they would if they and I think they're going in the portal to get a quarterback. I don't think it's going to be DJ.
Okay.
No.
No DJ. Okay.
No, I think Kyle McCord would be good for them.
Okay,
Yeah,
they've got.
Which it's funny you bring that up because Kyle McCord.
Yeah, that's
rumored
what. Yeah,
too.
he's the next guy. Kyle McCord. They got him ranked 6th out of Ohio State, going to Miami.
He'd be good for either one of those schools, actually,
Really?
Miami or Florida State. Yeah, he's a pretty good player. I mean,
he's not a great.
We don't
player.
need pretty good. We don't.
Well,
we
bro,
don't need
he's
pretty good.
but
We
his
need-
ceiling's here.
Okay, so
like DJ has hit his ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
McCord still has room to grow.
Yeah, and McCord,
first year starter.
Yeah, seems like smart enough guy. Not the most athletic or dynamic, but he would come right in and elevate that quarterback play.
He made some nice throws this year, too.
Here's a question.
Not all
I
the
want to
time,
ask
but
you.
he made some nice throws.
Well, what would be his reason for leaving Ohio State?
He was told to leave.
Yeah, they may
Oh,
push him
he's
out.
told him.
Because Ryan Day told him, I'm getting another quarterback.
Yeah, because like I said, he's
probably Cameron.
Yeah.
From Washington State.
He's basically 3/4 of what you want, or 3/4 of what you dream of, and Ryan Day can dream of bigger things because of obviously what they've got going around him.
Okay. All right, then we've got Will Rogers out of Mississippi State. They've got him going to Washington.
Yeah.
I like
Who
that.
will lose
I like
their
that personally.
Yeah. Who will lose their college eligibility first? Will Rogers or Dylan Gabriel? Honestly, who will? And then
Well, this is only Will Rogers' 5th year.
Yeah.
yeah.
His first
I know,
true
but
year
he
was
playing forever.
Well, because he started as a
Yeah,
true freshman at 18
immediately.
years old.
Yeah. And,
So
and basically Dylan did too, but it's just crazy how long you've heard their names. And of course, we laugh at JT Daniels, the one who played five different places.
He
over a
retired,
6-year period.
unfortunately,
did
due
retire.
to injury.
Yeah, he did
Sad.
retire.
Yeah.
JJ's going to like this one. Tyler Van Dyke out of University of Miami. They got him ranked number 9. They got him going to Mississippi State.
Okay, so he would replace Will
I've
Rogers.
also
Tyler
seen
Van-
him
Kinda fits
crystal
there,
balled
yeah.
to like Syracuse as well.
Oh, that one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because he's from up north and
Yeah, why don't you
Just
go
a
to
couple
Rutgers?
below average.
right, he'll
people,
look
programs,
you
and
know
players.
he'll
Well,
look
you
above
love-
average and that'll be great for them.
Man, how quickly you just dump off that shit.
You know what's sad is
Golly.
if he can learn how to read
No.
a defense,
Not you,
he
JJ.
can
Oh,
be
JJ,
he
yeah.
can be a great quarterback because he's got a huge arm, but he just
And he's-
cannot read a defense.
And he's big.
yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
He is a big kid.
Well, he was doing something right 2 years ago, JJ.
2 years ago, they had him
Brett Lashley.
Had him going late in the first round. That's when he was Van Dyke.
Who's the new
I
head
call him
coach
Van Dam
up
too
there?
many times. Huh?
Syracuse?
It's the Georgia secondary. I think secondary line.
Yeah.
Brown?
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Who was the number 1 recruiter in the country last year.
Yeah. Definitely a highly regarded dude. I was just trying to figure. I was trying to remind myself.
Nick
And the last
William.
one.
Oh no, sorry, Fran Brown.
Yeah, Fran.
Brown.
There you go.
And the last one is Grayson McCall
Yeah.
going to UCF.
Okay.
Fun.
Now, can we address with McCall?
Goodbye, John
because
Reese Plumlee.
There were
John Rice.
rumors.
Speaking of 7 years in football.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right. There were rumors that Grayson McCall, both of them. There were rumors that Grayson McCall was attempting to go to Florida last offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But was
One of the guys.
But was struggling to get academically eligible. Was what I
Yeah,
had heard.
I don't. You know what? I don't know, but I'm not spreading that rumor because that's like unfair to
Okay.
that kid. Because if it's not true, then you're throwing that out there. I'm not
Right.
doing that.
Yeah.
But he did consider Auburn. Did consider Florida. I don't know why
But
he didn't
didn't
go
we
to either one.
hear Billy Napier say that they talked to over a dozen?
24, he said.
20. Yeah. I was trying to remember the number.
Landed
but-
on Mertzy.
How long has he been in college? 7 years?
McCall, I think this will be his 6th or 7th
Yeah, he
year.
was Coastal Carolina. Yeah, so
How many classes do you need?
They all got the extra year because of COVID.
I
though,
know,
man.
but that's a long time.
The only
you can't
people-
make a career out of college.
the only people
Why
wishing
not?
for another pandemic to happen are
Some
college
money.
athletes. Those are the only ones.
Yeah.
They bring on the pandemic.
So
Let's wear masks
more
again.
years, more money. Yeah.
Yeah.
the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures is wondering who right now makes the most sense for Florida State. Because as much as they have a very heralded true freshman coming in, Luke Kromenhoek, yes, I pronounced his last name correctly, out of the Savannah area. Probably
Well,
not.
I mean, Brock Glenn was a huge recruit too. So I think he's going to bring someone in just to have someone, but they like Rodemaker.
Mm-hmm.
They like Glenn. They like this freshman coming in. I mean, they're okay right now, better than okay at quarterback. But they will bring someone in. There's no doubt they will.
All right, let's make this the 10-10 take right now because if you're talking about what they had and then what they were devolved to, totally different product.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue all over the First Coast, including at the Toys for Tots XL Primetime Christmas yesterday. So make sure you check them out. Craving some of that good barbecue lunch or dinner. Catering, they can do it all for you. Make sure you check out Sonny's. And if you had a bar set, it's kind of like what we just talked about with Kyle McCord leaving Ohio State, maybe going to Miami. You have programs that are used to a standard at that position, and they've been able to attract the guys. Now, they don't all hit, but you're used to getting good guys play that most important position. If Florida State were to just say, hey, post Jordan Travis, we're going to live with what we have in a Rodemaker or a Glenn, that's a mistake on Mike Norvell's part. They need to go get another premier player with legs that can move, throw, and do everything, because neither one of those cats can move, throw, and do everything. And Florida State is at least right now in a position to attract some of those.
You just
big
act like
names.
those guys that are out there.
Dude,
just go get a guy that moves and throws and does everything.
I saw 120 minutes of really bad quarterback play or below average quarterback play from Florida State against a bad Florida team and a Louisville
I don't
team.
disagree with you.
So if I'm Mike Norvell, I ain't riding with that.
They're also young guys, man.
Doesn't
guys
matter.
that haven't played.
Doesn't matter.
You got to give them like an entire offseason to go through the process of
What
being
do
a
stars
starter.
do if they're highly
I mean,
recruited?
look,
they walk right in and make plays.
My whole point is you're like, yeah, just go get somebody that can do this, that, and the other. No, those guys aren't just growing on trees, man.
Did you hear the list that Leon just ran down?
Yeah. How many of those guys are any good?
Well, I would take DJ.
What about KJ
Uwe.
Jefferson? Would you take him?
I would.
He's in the portal.
Over those other two, yeah. I would take DJ Uyunglele over those other two.
Say that again.
Uyunglele, I got it. But I have. There is no question in my mind that whatever I saw from Brock Glenn does not make me think
Would
that
you take Will Rogers?
He's the
Florida
future.
State?
Will Rogers is a really good player.
Okay.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So I do think that's where you should be kind of operating mind-wise.
Would you take Max Brown? He's in the portal for Florida State.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't think. I don't think. Listen, I don't think Mike Norvell is going to suffer what Billy Napier went through this last year, where he got a bunch of no's and one yes. And so that's.
You take Trevor Etienne if you're Mike Norvell.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I just said.
That's going to be a problem when that happens.
Yeah, I said earlier, Trey Benson is one
problem.
of the great success stories in the transfer portal that helped Mike Norvell build what he built.
He's out.
He's on his way out. So.
Trevor Etienne is officially the number one player in the running back position in the On3 transfer portal, by the way. And I asked Matt during the break, so I'll leave you guys with this before we take our next break. What would be worse, Gator fans, if Trevor Etienne goes to Georgia or Florida State? We'll put that out there into the ether and just let it marinate for the next 5 minutes, and then we'll come back with more on the other side of XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Sometimes the most important position in sports needs a translator.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security.
Register Sausage.
And George Moore Chevrolet.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Arthritis is the most common cause of joint pain in America and affects more than 50 million adults. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. For reliable diagnosis and comprehensive treatment options, come see me and the specialists at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. With more than 35 years of experience in orthopedics, our team delivers compassionate and dedicated care to relieve your pain. Set up a visit today by scheduling online or calling the office. Log on to barryorthopedics.com with locations across Jacksonville.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
If you're getting engaged this holiday season, celebrating an anniversary, birthday, or shopping early for the holidays,
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible Christmas sale.
everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 43% off.
Now till December 24th.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
It's the most intense friendly rivalry in all of sport. Army, Navy.
What's at stake is the Commander-in-Chief's trophy.
Listen for Army-Navy moments.
Brought to you by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters on 1010XL.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Mia here. If you found a $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't just walk past it. So why are you passing up on a chance at easy cash with MyBookie? MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill all your sports betting needs anytime, anywhere, so you could turn that sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Bet on the NFL each and every week, college bowl games, or play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly blackjack tournaments. If you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, the holidays are here, and that time is now. Make your winning move with MyBookie today. Sign up at MyBookie using promo code 1010XL and claim your deposit match redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting this holiday season right from the comfort of your home. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
W's and L's are what it's all about in football season, and you know you want to be a winner. Well, don't forget about calling Florida Home AC at 777-4300 before all your friends come over and that AC or heating unit conks out. You'll have that L on your forehead, and that sticks. Make sure your AC can handle the heat and invite the gang over for a win. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, with prompt and quick service to make sure you stay cool in the heat and warm in the winter.
Rhino Shield. Stop paying for paint that doesn't protect. Permanently protect your home while saving tens of thousands of dollars compared to repainting. Say goodbye to water damage, mold, and algae, and enjoy decades of defense against chipping, cracking, and peeling. Beautifully durable colors on any surface, all backed by our 25-year warranty. Shield now and pay later with 0% financing. Request your free quote today at rhinoshieldjax.com.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, if you want to add value to your home without breaking the piggy bank, Shark Coatings offers multiple finance options to meet your budget. Like a smaller garage for as low as $45 per month, or a standard 2-car garage around $58 a month. And a 4-car driveway with a walkway is only $82 a month. Of course, each property is unique and our design consultants can give you exact pricing for your project. But here's a way to only spend a little each month for the Shark Coatings your concrete floors need now. Shark Coatings, we're ready when you are.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Doug Peterson on the decision to play or not to play Trevor Lawrence against the Browns.
You listen to the player, obviously, but it's the medical staff. It's the doctors who have evaluated him and have had years of experience working through these different types of injuries. And I have to lean on that just a little bit, and then you got to make a tough decision and say, yes, let's go, and you're fine. You know, you're going to be a little sore and all of that, but then you, on the other side, go, you know what, you got to make the tough decision and say, no, I'm gonna keep you down this week and give you another week of rest.
Jaguars at Browns, Sunday at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
Well, we let it sit. The Nooners responded on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Matt Hayes, Joe C., Leon Searcy, JJ LaSelva. Apparently, Trevor Etienne has already hinted a little bit, maybe, possibly, at where he potentially could be going. In case you missed it, the news of the day, the Gators' sophomore running back is in the transfer portal. Chris McClellan, a fellow former Gator officially now who is also in the portal, tweeted that Florida State offered, to which Trevor Etienne quote tweeted it and said, IDK, how I feel about this one.
To me, that's his way of shooting it down.
Yeah. I don't. Man, if you're a Florida fan, I think you could probably accept Georgia because it's Georgia and they can get anybody.
Yeah.
But if he goes to Florida State,
either way, it's a rival. JJ, you may turn that into a Twitter poll if you want, because it's a rival in-state versus border state. The border state has hardware, big-time hardware, the last couple of years. Have you heard of a national championship? And Florida State was in line to play for that, but then obviously the devastating injury to Jordan Travis stopped that. And so in-state rival, border rival, both of them are true bitter rivals. All right, there's no some fan may have some distinction. They're the FSU is one and Georgia's two in this person's world, but they're interchangeable for most Gator fans. Leon, how would you rank? Who is your most bitter rival? And if you saw one of your prized team or prized players going and playing for them, oh my God!
My most bitter rival is Notre Dame. I told you I have a hierarchy of hate.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
I love that.
Notre Dame sits at the top of it. So if it was a Miami player that went to Notre Dame and had to play Miami,
that would be upsetting.
That would be very upsetting.
You still would.
He would not be welcome at Coral Gables again.
The bad news isn't just limited to ETN today for the Gators. So Jordan Seaton, who's one of the top offensive linemen in the country, a 5-star kid from IMG, chose Colorado today over the Gators. Mm-hmm. That's, again, and I said this when Mullen was there, if you are the flagship university in the state of Florida, you cannot let those IMG guys get out of there. I don't care if they're from other areas of the United States. I don't care if they go there just to play football. They're in your state. They're 80 miles away from your campus. You cannot let those guys
but guess what? They got a 5-star, and he hasn't played particularly well.
And the other one went
to
Florida.
Guess what? The odds are they're going to play well. Most of them.
Well, yeah, I just say, they finally got one, and it was a 5-star, and he didn't necessarily deliver. I don't know whether it's poor coaching. It possibly could be that.
So our buddy Nick De La Torre down in Gainesville for On 3 did the heavy lifting for us.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody who says, we got to get Billy's guys in there. Officially half of Billy Napier's first signing class with the Gators is in the transfer portal. Trevor Etienne, Kamari Wilson, Chris McClellan, Caleb Douglas, Jalen Farmer, Andrew something or other that I can't pronounce his last name, David Connor, Max Brown, Jordan Herman, Ty Bowman. That's 11 players. 11 players from one signing class.
Yeah, and if Scott Strickland doesn't, how you twist that little rod in your window and it's the blinds opening up, if he twists that and he opens up the blinds and he doesn't see a dumpster fire outside of his office, then he's missing something, because that's basically what it looks like, feels like for most Gator fans, I would think. You can't have brought your own guys in, Leon, to answer this whole bad recruiting thing that Mullen apparently delivered to Gainesville, and then have this happen.
Hey, listen, as much as you want to blame the coach for their lack of production over the last year, I mean, those players also help prepare the dinner and the plate and the sit down for what they're eating.
It is
so
true.
I mean, so don't sit there and act like it's all the coach's fault because you helped prepare that meal.
Yeah,
that 5 and 7 is yours.
The problem is Etienne wasn't one of those guys.
Right. For sure. Or Trey Wilson if he were to go.
Why he wasn't?
Well, because
he was one of the handful of players that I would say was good.
You can't exclude him just because he's talented. He's on that. That's on the okay.
No,
I'm
it's not because he's talented.
I'm gonna tell you. On his resume, it says 5 and 7
Right,
as
but
a player,
producing.
as a Gator player. I don't care. He's 5 and 7. Is he not 5 and 7? Are you not what your record says you are? I don't care how talented you are. You're part of a team that went 5 and 7.
Right, but if he's producing and the other guys on the team are not producing,
you're making excuses for him.
I don't think I'm making
I think you
excuses for him. I think he's
he's
producing.
Has he been on the winning team the last 2 years?
Here's another thing.
Has he been on a winning team the last 2 years?
Despite the carries and the lack of touches. No, he hasn't been on a losing team. Is that his fault?
It's part of his fault. He's on the bad team.
Come on,
man, listen. Why are you going to exclude players just because he's talented?
One thing I do know, Leon,
this plays your resume. He shined. Absolutely, he shined. But he
we'll see how many of these other schools are like, hey, we don't want you. You were on a 5 and 7 team.
That's
like
not
Nick
what
Saban ain't
I'm
saying that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that somehow you're excluding these players that are leaving. I understand. I like the transfer portal. I like the fact that they can move and maneuver the way that coaches can. But what I'm saying is you help prepare that meal, that stinking meal that you eat that is 5 and 7. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and they should not all be off the hook. It shouldn't just be one thing. In other words, the problem is this and this alone, which is coaching. Yeah, those guys make themselves accountable to one another. That's for sure. Trevor Etienne was an absolute baller, and so was Trey Wilson.
Let me just say, you're dead A wrong on that. Just between you and I, dead A wrong on that.
And I disagree.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
that's why we're on the radio.
Exactly. So you can go back and forth.
So I do have.
I'm just saying, if you're like a guy if you are an elite player and you are balling out, you said he balled out, right?
Yeah,
when he got the touches.
When
he got the touches.
Yes, when
it's
he got
hard
the
for me to blame a guy like that.
I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming.
I know you're not. It's hard for me even to put him in the group of, well, you are what you are, because if you say you are what you are, you look at him. He clearly is what he is. The problem is there's not other guys there that are what they are.
And at the running back position,
from the top down.
It's really hard to affect a lot from the running back position. So I put out a poll, Gator fans, would you feel worse if Etienne transfers to FSU or Georgia? Question day brought to you by Beaver Toyota of St. Augustine. Florida State leading the way. They would feel much worse right now if Florida State took Etienne. A great comment. It doesn't matter. He's now Gator bait.
And since you brought up Florida, since we brought up Florida State, a couple on the text line have said, why would Etienne go to FSU? Because they won't be good next year.
Oh, my God.
He wants to go to a team that competes next year, to which I say, let us transition to our final top 5 in the college game, JJ, and see if any of us have Florida State in our top 5.
Well, yeah, last week, things are definitely going to change. Last week, everyone had Georgia number 1.
Hang on real quick. Was Jordan Travis part of the reason why Florida State lost those 2 games, even though he wasn't playing?
What happened?
We got to get to the top 5.
But lost them in the idea of the playoff. Was Jordan Travis part of that?
He wasn't available.
Is he part of that?
He wasn't available.
Oh, he wasn't available.
That's a great point, Matt. All right, we got to do this in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Last week, Mia, FSU 5, Washington 4, Oregon 3, Michigan 2, and Georgia number 1.
I am shaking it up, needless to say. I'm going right to the top. I put Alabama as my number 1 team in the land because I agree with JJ. I think they're going to curb stomp Michigan. I think they're going to win the national title. And it's wild to think, if not for the Gravedigger play, they're not in this situation. I still think they're the best team standing and playing the best right now. Washington, I thought Oregon was going to cover that 10-point spread. Thought they were going to thump them. Kalen DeBoer and company proved me wrong. They're my number 2. Michigan, listen, I know that Iowa team better than anybody else in this town, and let me tell you, you played with your food way too much. I don't care how good that defense is. I still have questions about if J.J. McCarthy can carry an offense if the run game is shut down. At number 4, Texas, by virtue of they are in the playoff. And at number 5, Florida State.
Oh, very respectful. All right, last week, Joe had, I agree with most of that. Joe had Washington 5, Michigan 4, Bama 3, Oregon 2, and the Georgia Bulldogs number 1.
Yeah, so I'm going 5-1, and the outside looking in, the only of my top 5 right now is the Texas Longhorns, and I just sit there and try and distinguish who had the best win, who had the best loss, and believe it or not, a best loss actually does say something about you. But Texas got Alabama before Milroe became Milroe. Georgia got Alabama when Milroe was at his best, and ultimately lost to him. I'm putting Texas 5. I'm putting Georgia. If I had a college football playoff, I would have the University of Georgia Bulldogs in my college football top 4. So I have them as the number 4 seed right now. Alabama beat them with a very, very good football team. I'm putting Alabama 3rd. Washington, I have to recognize, you dang Ducks. Oh, I was on Oregon the whole way. I thought they would be able to take care of business, and I definitely have to give credit to the Dogs. 9.5-point underdogs, and the Huskies won. And Michigan, I have them number 1 because of what they've been able to do, and I'm only putting them up there is so they can fall the furthest, okay? That's the only reason I have Jimmy Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, because I bet an over-under of 26.5, and you let me down. And I want you to fall as far as you possibly can.
All right, last week Matt had Oregon 5, Bama 4, Ohio State 3, Michigan 2, and the Georgia Bulldogs number 1.
All right, before we go any further, I know Florida State didn't lose those last 2 games. It was kind of like an idea of they may as well have lost them. Whatever.
It's a thought experiment, folks.
Whatever.
If they would have lost those games, would it have been Jordan Travis' fault? Absolutely not.
So here's the thing. This is about the 5 best teams. That's what our poll's always been.
Yeah.
A lot like the college football playoff. It's not about the most deserving, okay? I got 5 Ohio State. 4 Washington. Love what Washington did. I love the fact that everybody thought they were going to lose to Oregon, including me, and they went out there and balled out. Dylan Johnson just played unbelievable. Michael Penix wasn't reading them in that game. Dylan Johnson was really good game.
And their defense, by the way, too.
Yeah, the defense played really well. So I'm really impressed with Washington. I got Georgia at 3, Michigan at 2, and I think JJ was right a week and a half ago when he said Alabama's going to beat Georgia and win the whole thing. And I think he's right. I got Alabama at 1.
To be fair, I've been saying Alabama's going to beat Georgia all season.
But you made such a definitive point about a week and a half ago. You said they're going to win it all.
All right, Leon last week had FSU number 5, Oregon 4, Washington 3, Michigan 2, and Georgia number 1.
Well, I still got Florida State at number 5. All right. There's been a lot of whining about not making the playoffs. I understand it. I mean, I want to change you and burp you, but no.
Whining is a very mean word, bro. You don't think it was justified?
Right. I don't think you can do that right now in this day and age. It's not,
Okay, whatever.
We're gonna come after you.
You wanted to burp him.
It's done. I got the Bulldogs. Listen, Georgia's was number 1 for I don't know how many weeks, and they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't
By
kick
3.
them out.
Yeah.
By
By
3
3
in a neutral site. Listen, and they drop to 6 behind Florida State.
Right.
1 to 6.
I don't understand that. So I got the Bulldogs number 4. I got Alabama number 3. I got Washington number 2, and my pick midway through the season, Michigan. I got Michigan going to win it all. Michigan is going to win the national championship.
Wow.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Are you going to do a cartwheel if that happens?
That's kind of like
I love Leon's belief.
That's the overlooked thing of this entire whining about the playoff. Georgia lost by 3 in the championship game. They were number 1, and they dropped to
5
6
spots.
Yep.
6.
I think part
It's
of
never
that.
happened.
I think part of that because one of the texters just called me out and was like, "You don't believe Florida State's the 5th best team." No, on the eye test, it is Georgia. I also think Georgia would beat Texas by at least a touchdown on a neutral site. However, again, this is where it comes down to eye test versus resume. And I understand there are Dogs fans out there that are complaining because it's not their fault that they had to cancel the Oklahoma non-conference game. It's not their fault that they had to play a non-conference game that was softer than Charmin. And actually, Georgia Tech was halfway decent this year, so maybe that's not a bad non-conference game. But I think that is what it came down to. And certainly, similar to Alabama, this is a Georgia team that built and was playing its best ball when it mattered most. It struggled early in the year because you had a new quarterback under center, a new offensive coordinator trying to gel. You still found ways to win. But also, if we're going to talk about hurt players, Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey would have been ready for the playoff, that's for sure.
I would take if you're gonna ask me to bet,
Yeah.
I'd take Georgia over anyone right now in that playoff.
Yeah, that's why I have them in. There's no question. All right. So JJ, you rattled off yours.
Yeah, quickly. Washington, Michigan, Texas, Georgia, and Bama.
Okay, and so Bama's number one, and honestly, they look like they're playing the best, but it still doesn't mean like that's going to be fun to talk about once we get closer to that, which we will do. Back to your Jags, the National Football League. How important is it for Trevor to play, or maybe how important it is for him not to play?
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. What's that? Find 1010XL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching 1010XL and follow the conversation on social media because listening at the dinner table would be rude.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Whoa, that's crazy. Holy smokes, this is the coolest fireworks show you've done. So what did you change?
I stopped buying fireworks at the Big Chain Fireworks and got everything at Superior Fireworks on Blanding Boulevard.
Right in Orange Park?
Yep, easy. Their store is huge, and I got lower prices by shopping early in the month.
Looks like Superior Fireworks is the way to start our new year with a...
SuperiorFireworks.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 46th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Open 7 days a week in December.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Want even more excitement on game day? Then test your skills at Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. Simple. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that. With pro and college basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections from the Specials League. For example, tonight I have Steelers QB Mitch Trubisky throwing for less than 180.5 yards against the Patriots, and Bucs guard Dame Lillard to score more than 27.5 against the Pacers. Now, listen to this. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy, so your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets hurt. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks, and right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/1010XL and use the promo code 1010XL, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. That's right, $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's the biggest, brightest end of the year clearance sale at First Coast Lighting and Fans on Phillips Highway. Get 40 to 60% off display lighting, fans, and home decor to make room for new merchandise coming next year. Hurry in to the store today because quantities are limited and their best selections won't last long at 40 to 60% off clearance pricing. Upgrade your furnishings for the holidays with the biggest savings of the year at First Coast Lighting and Fans on Phillips Highway.
Turnpike Troubadours are coming to Jacksonville. Saturday, April 6th at Daly's Place.
I always kept the best for you.
Turnpike Troubadours with L. King and Colby A. Cuff.
That mean old sun better rise up soon if it's ever gonna set on me.
Tickets are on sale Friday at 10 through Ticketmaster.com.
Mama warned you about
Turnpike Troubadours with L. King and Colby A. Cuff. Saturday, April 6th at Daly's Place. Produced by Mammoth.
The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want is a septic emergency. Call Duck Tech Rooter and schedule your septic tank pump out or full system inspection. 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, If you have a ton of equity in your house, and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Bold City Brewery, established in 2008, the oldest craft brewery in Jacksonville, and proud to celebrate 15 years of brewing great beers in Duval. With 2 locations serving delicious beers, seltzers, and ciders produced in-house, 1 location located in downtown Jacksonville, and the production facility and restaurant located off of Rosedale Street in Riverside. Bold City Brewery, striving to have something for everyone and keeping the tradition of brewing great beers and serving fantastic food in Jacksonville. Log on and taste the craft at boldcitybrewery.com.
The Army-Navy Game Watch Party is presented by the City of Jacksonville Military Affairs and Veterans Department. Watch on the world's largest screens with a kids zone and free admission or donation. Gates open at 2 for the Army-Navy Game Watch Party at Everbank Stadium.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. We have major breaking news out of Gainesville. Florida sophomore running back Trevor Etienne has entered the transfer portal. Etienne led the Gators with 8 rushing touchdowns in 2023. He was second on the team in rushing with 753 yards. Etienne also led the Gators in yards per carry and yards per game. Florida head coach Billy Napier earlier this season on what Trevor Etienne has meant to the Gators program.
Trevor is one of our best. You know, he's not only one of the best competitors and players that we have, but he's also one of the better young men in our program.
Etienne scored 14 rushing touchdowns in 24 games in Gainesville. It's 63 degrees at 103. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
1 o'clock hour is here. It's XL Primetime. We always love you hanging out with us throughout the day. All of Duval. On 1010XL 92.5 FM, the super station. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Sirs, and JJ. We've been talking a lot of college football. We'll definitely drift back to the NFL world with your Jaguars coming up. And then we've been mentioning FSU, and our man Rick Blue will join us before we are done today to talk a little bit more about them being left out. But I was looking at the numbers for Trevor Etienne, and we had one of those that just happened in the noon hour when it became official, something that we had heard for quite some time, but wasn't official until earlier today that Trevor Etienne has entered the transfer portal. And we went through all the big names that have already entered it, and we're going to find out where they're going to go. Now, this is from November 22nd, okay? So this is before the FSU game. All right, you guys with me?
Yep.
So Etienne had 710 rushing yards, yards per carry 5.9, 8 touchdowns. Yards after contact, pretty impressive. 500-plus yards after contact. The forced missed tackles, 34. Yards of 10-plus, or rushes of 10-plus yards or more, 23. Those are all pretty good. Montrell Johnson, 710 rushing yards. Yards per carry, over 5.3. He is dwarfed in number of touchdowns. It's 8-4. Yards after contact, 457 compared to 503. Honestly, there's not that much difference between these two. Montrell, let's not dismiss what he did. Even though Trevor was good, or actually approaching great, Montrell was always pretty damn good.
Homer.
Yeah. What's that? Homer?
A little bit.
Those
just a little bit.
Is
you know if you put those two on the field, you know who clearly is the better player.
Well, yeah, that's I agree with that. I'm just simply pointing out this is where I try and go a little deeper than you and your proclamation that one's better than the other.
He is clearly better than him, is he not?
5.3 yards per
Joe,
carry,
stop.
5.9, 710 rushing yards, 710 rushing yards. Yards after contact, 457, 503. Forced missed tackles, 34 to 30. Runs of 10-plus yards, 23 to 22.
And Billy obviously liked one better.
Yeah, he should have
I mean, the
played
guy
Trevor Moore.
knows.
Clearly he knows, man.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
I am not defending Billy in this. I'm basically saying, hey, Montrell, you weren't that bad.
No, I don't.
I don't think he's that bad either, but I think it's
I think
clear
he got a lot of
difference
hate
between the
just
two.
because ETN is so
Yes.
good.
And because
Yes,
he's
I
Billy's
agree.
guy that came from Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm not saying Montrell Johnson is a good player. I'm saying there's a big difference between him and Trevor Etienne.
Right, but I guess whenever we say that, we ignore stats. and even though I know Trevor's better, Montrell made him some plays now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
he made him
disagree.
some plays. And so, yeah, it's still a disastrous situation there. That is for sure.
Quick programming update, not on our airwaves, but do want to just remind everybody that we do have 3 of our local high school state championship, or high school teams, I should say, playing for state championships today, and that begins at 3 o'clock with our friends down from the Aug as they face Daytona Beach Mainland. That's at 3 o'clock. All of these games are being broadcast on Bally Sports if you have that channel. And so 3 o'clock today for the Yellow Jackets, then 3 o'clock tomorrow for Mandarin. Nice little afternoon football for y'all if you're sitting at the office and want to turn on the TV. And then finally the boys of Bradford, an 8 o'clock kick tomorrow night.
I tell you, I don't know who has the best chance to win a state title, but the fact that there are 3 public schools that are all playing for it and they're representing 3 different counties here on the First Coast, that's pretty special. That is rare air. Leon, you had some of your old teammates that were coaching high school, Roland Smith and some of those other guys down there, and he came onto the Miami program, didn't he?
Yeah. Roland Smith, he coached at Northwestern down there. I think he won like 5 or 6 state championships down there. My teammate Darren Smith to play with me in Miami. He's at Miami. He's at Chaminade Madonna right now. So I think he's won his 2nd or 3rd state title down there.
Yeah,
so
they're studly down there.
Yeah, and another teammate of mine, Daryl Porter, he's with American Heritage. That's another superpower down there in South Florida. So, yeah, I mean, as much as they have the powerhouse down in South Florida, Jacksonville's proven as well.
Yeah.
You got some powerhouses up here.
We're starting to get a little bit of them.
Yeah.
And remember now, we wondered if it would be the Metro or the Suburban, which one of these would win in the new rules because of the way they broke up these, the districting and whatnot. And it's worked out. At least all 3 have a chance.
Although the FHSAA announced yesterday they may overhaul that system
Oh,
now.
they never stop overhauling it. They're NASCAR.
They may create an open division now and get rid of Metro Suburban.
Yeah.
Our good friends at News for Jax, Jamal St. Cyr and Justin Barney, I have an article up if you want more on that, but it's
Yeah, they're NASCAR.
constantly
It's more
changing.
convoluted than the BCS was.
It honestly is. And, obviously as an AP voter, I follow the net, RPI, and all the crazy basketball analytics, too, because there's, 19,000 of those. But this is even wilder with, how you determine how a team that plays in the Panhandle plays the same or lesser competition than a team that plays in Miami just because they have the same enrollment.
Yeah, I know they were trying to fix things when they came up with the point system, but they basically dragged districts is what they did. They just said we're not going to acknowledge them anymore, and they came up with a point system, and it is a totally different deal. All right, I'm going to try and work a couple of bold facts in today because I missed one yesterday. If I could sneak it in, let's at least do one right now, JJ.
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
All right, so they definitely got it going on, especially when you go with burgers, brews, and bingo on a Thursday. Yeah, you can play bingo, have fun, win. You can get those great smash burgers, and then you get that buy one, get one BOGO action from Bold City. Find them right there on Roselle Street, their production house in Riverside, and, of course, Bold City downtown. Definitely check them out when you're reaching for some craft. So you talk about the National Football League, which we'll get back to with your Jaguars coming up here in a second. The Patriots defense has given up the least amount of points since Week 9, and they have not won a single game. Okay? They have given up the least amount of points since Week 9 and have not won a damn thing. So who is behind them right now? If you want to give me, the New England Patriots have surrendered 46 points, and their record is 0-4 since Week 9. Can you give me 2, 3, and 4? 2, 3, and 4
I would say
behind
the
them.
Browns, however, I did just read a great article from Bill Barnwell on ESPN in which he explains that the Browns defense was performing at an unparalleled rate the first 6 weeks of the season, but the reason they're still in the top 3 of most metrics is because of that elite start, and they've regressed the last couple of weeks. So I don't think it's the Browns. Wait, is it the Steelers? Because they're playing the Steelers? That would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
They only gave up, 10 to the Bengals?
That's a Josie thing to do, by the way.
Just a one or two guesses.
Yeah,
and
there's
I'll give
3
you,
of them, so I bet there are at least one.
I'll give you the
Browns.
top 5 once we get to this.
Hang on.
I'm going to give
What
you
about the 49ers?
I'm going to give you one thing that will obviously help direct you. Not just yet, though.
So, yeah, the Browns and the Steelers.
Ravens. Broncos.
No, they gave up a ton, though, to the Texans.
Jets.
That would be funny, too.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to it.
Giants.
Let's get to it. I've heard a couple of names that have been mentioned, but just as a rule, the top 5, okay, the Patriots are 0-4, giving up the least amount of points since Week 9. These other 4 of the top 5 are combined 14-2. 14-2.
That's usually how it works.
That's 2 4-0 teams. One of them was said, the Niners. Okay, and then there's a couple of 3-1 teams, and I think at least one of them was said, the Ravens. Okay, so here's what you got. The Patriots are 0-4, giving up 46 points. The 49ers have given up exactly 49, and they are 4-0. The Dolphins have given up 62. They're 3-1. The Ravens have given up 66. They're 3-1. And how about the Indianapolis Colts? 4-0. In fact, they own right now, they're tied for the longest win streak in the NFL. They've only given up 67 points. So, Minshew is living off of that, his good play and that defense.
And in that same Bill Barnwell article, they also quoted how Samson Iguakin and Kwity Paye are both among the best pass rush win rate in the NFL over the last 3 weeks. So they're on the top 5.
Yeah, and I think you had thrown a number out yesterday as far as what basically some of these teams, Cleveland and Baltimore being at the top, but Indianapolis with Paye and Buckner and all these guys, they're starting to come on.
Shout out to Gus, baby.
Yeah, and they had that, obviously there were a lot of points scored this past week against the Tennessee Titans, but they still were able to come out on top.
We said it when the schedule first came out, and that was when we thought Anthony Richardson would be the quarterback. Wasn't it better to face a rookie quarterback twice in the first 6 weeks of the season compared to when they start figuring things out in the second half, if they were to figure things out? And that's clearly what we're seeing.
All right, so back to that question that will get answered, and then we'll get Rick Ballou coming up in about 15, 20 minutes. Would you or wouldn't you, will he or won't he, because Trevor Lawrence is thinking about playing on Sunday. If they don't have their tackle, is it the smartest thing to do? So let's definitely dive back into that on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Nothing came easy, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
It's blue-collar line of scrimmage football. I'm Tom McManus, and I join Jaguars Today Fridays from 10 to noon.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
So you know those little snow globy things that seem to be everywhere this time of year? Why do we love them so much? Well, because it's fun to shake things up. And that's exactly what my friends at Arlington Toyota are doing. Get ready to shake up the season, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. And man, are they shaking things up with financing as low as 2.99% on 10 new Toyota models. Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, Tacomas, you name it, Arlington has it, with more than 500 new Toyotas available. Plus, every new purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. That's unlimited time and miles. And did you know Arlington has racked up an amazing 18,000 Google reviews? Even more amazing, they've earned an impressive 4.7 out of 5-star rating from customers who love Arlington as much as you will. Are you ready to shake up the season? Then you'd better get over to Arlington, because Toyotathon is on. These deals won't last long. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on Southside near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. 2 great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
Are you fed up with your old, unreliable AC system? How much do you think it's worth now? How about this? Old City Heating and Air will pay you up to $1,200 for your old AC system when you purchase a new AC system this month. Talk about happy holidays. And if cash for your old AC isn't enough, Bold City offers 12 months with no payments and no interest financing. That's a whole year of no payments on your new AC system. Schedule a free estimate today at boldcityac.com.
Hey, Jags fans. Renewal by Andersen is a proud partner with your favorite team, and they bring that same commitment to excellence to your home's windows and doors. With their advanced Fibrex material and energy-efficient glass options, their windows and doors are the perfect choice for your next home improvement project. Let them help you bring more light and life into your home. Schedule a complimentary consultation today. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, president of Underwoods. Clayton, I've seen pearls advertised from under $100 well into the thousands of dollars. Help me understand that.
David, let me explain. First of all, there's several types of cultured pearls, and at Underwoods we carry all of them. They're the Chinese freshwater pearls that are grown in mussels, not oysters, and these are the least expensive. There are also Akoya pearls, which are the traditional Japanese cultured pearls that are grown in an oyster. Generally, these are the next most expensive. Then there are the Tahitian gray, black pearls and white South Sea pearls that are grown in larger oysters off the coast of Australia and Tahiti. These are generally the larger pearls and are more expensive than the other pearls. Once we know the type pearl we have, we begin the quality grading part that's essential to pricing. These are things like the pearl size, how round they are, the pearl's body color, its luster, surface blemishes, and how the pearls are matched with each other. This is where we use our expertise to make sure that our customers get the better quality pearls they expect from Underwoods at a fair price.
Follow the Seminoles' quest back to the college football mountaintop.
I'm RJ Saunders, and I'll keep you tapped in to Tallahassee all season long on the Seminole Report.
Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team on 1010XL.
What? They did not tell me they were going to do that. I need a new bank.
Well, actually, One-to-One Financial doesn't do the usual bank surprises because we're not a bank. We're a credit union, and that means lower loan interest, things like free checking and member rewards, and of course, total investment back into our community. I'm sold.
Find a better way to bank than big banks with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit 121fcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA. Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888 Sparky. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
David here with Royal Pest Services. The cool down is coming, and with that comes the pesky rodent. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a complimentary roof and attic inspection to check for access points and any evidence of previous activity. Now offering military and first responder discounts.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The shoulder is one of the body's largest joints, prone to a variety of injuries and conditions that cause pain. Dr. George Bari here, and at Bari Orthopedics, we know an active lifestyle can lead to serious joint pain. We can help with an accurate diagnosis and treatment for a full spectrum of shoulder injuries, from arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, or rotator cuff and labral tearing. Bari Orthopedics can help. If you or a loved one suffers from shoulder pain, don't hesitate to call or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well. Guess who is practicing at the Miller Electric Center
Under
right
the
now?
heading of will he or won't he?
He is practicing, folks. We don't know if he's going to play Sunday, but Trevor Lawrence is indeed out on the practice field. He has his helmet on, according to our good buddy Mike DiRocco of ESPN. Yes, he's my good friend for everybody who's trying to stir the pot and create a rivalry. He says that Trevor didn't do every drill, but he did warm up. He did some throwing. He's with the quarterbacks. He's moving around. And, yeah, the ankle's heavily taped. Obviously, it's the right ankle. The knee injury was to the left knee, so he has a brace on. So kind of held together with some rubber bands and duct tape. But, hey, he's out there, and he's smiling, and he's
stretch.
I can't believe it just because it's just like
Stretch Armstrong.
How do we keep coming back to this?
Leon, remember the injury it was Detroit last year, right? Where it looked like the knee got folded backwards. And
Same day, by the way.
Yeah,
December
I
4th,
remember.
2022, and now December 4th, 2023.
Which is kind of eerie. I'd take that next day off if I were you, Trevor, next year. But anyway, Stretch Armstrong, there is a resilience to his body. You got to give him credit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Trevor sees the opportunity that lies before this team, and if he his threshold for pain. Listen, when I saw that injury initially on Monday night, I thought he was done. Absolutely thought he was done, and the way he walked off the field or whatever. So I mean, listen, with him playing in spite of the injury, I mean, it should be inspiring to other guys on the team to want to play their best football. So
Blake
Trevor,
Hance,
especially Hance, whatever he's the pressure's on Hance.
So should he worry? Like, in other words,
no. I'm telling you, Trevor's going to have the utmost confidence in Hance. That's what he's going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would he prefer to have Cam or walk a little there? Absolutely, but he's not going to say that publicly.
Well, let me throw another.
You can't bust him like that.
Let me throw another monkey wrench in.
Yeah.
According to Jamal St. Cyr of News for Jacks, Ezra Cleveland got in some work with the tackles at practice today.
Okay.
Because
He almost has to. If somebody gets hurt, then what?
Yeah, and the way he came into Jacksonville, the word up in Minnesota was that he was looking for a chance to get tackle money and play tackle. So he wants that.
He's their only option to tackle right now.
You're
so
right.
He gets hurt.
Yeah, I don't know where Josh Wells is right now, but yeah, he is their only option basically.
All right. Without further ado, because in addition to Trevor not ever playing on December 4th again, I think we need to put that in his next contract. I also have officially said I will not be putting the Jaguars in my top 5 for the rest of the year. I don't care if they run the table because every time I put them in the top 5, they somehow, some way find a way to lose. So who do I have in my top 5? Who do we all have in our NFL power rankings?
Yes, last week Mia, as she mentioned, had the Jags at 5, Ravens 4, Niners 3, Chiefs were 2, and the Eagles were number 1.
Yes, so no Jags, needless to say. I put the Miami Dolphins at 5, although there's a school of thought that maybe because they're currently the number 1 seed in the AFC, they should be a little bit higher, but I'll get to that in a second. At number 4, the Ravens, coming off of a bye. We'll see how they perform this week, but that defense obviously remains as terrifying as ever. I keep the Chiefs at 3. Actually, I may have had them at 2 last week, but I keep them at 3 because my preseason prediction of the Green Bay Packers going to the playoffs looking mighty fine right now. I think Jordan Love and that youngest wide receiver room in the NFL are hitting their stride, so I don't think it's as bad a loss as Chiefs fans may be thinking throughout the duration of this week. At number 2, the Eagles. I know they got curb stomped, but they still have the best record in the NFL. And at number 1, when they're clicking, I'm not sure we've seen a team like this in I don't even know how many years. The San Francisco 49ers.
All right, last week Joe had the Ravens 5, Cowboys 4, Chiefs 3, Eagles 2, and the 49ers number 1.
Yeah, I will not hesitate in saying that there's been a little disruption in my top 5, and it's just because of what I see. I have to rank it, and they may have the best record, but they're nowhere near the top team in the National Football League right now. Hey, Kansas City Chiefs, you are on life support in my top 5, all right? But you're hanging on. You're still good enough, but you're 8-4 right now. Gut check time. We'll see what they can do. But that was a hell of a ball game against Green Bay the other night. But I still have them among my top 5. I have the Dolphins in that 4th slot. And I mentioned the number defensively. They're among the top 5 in giving up points since Week 9. And they're also one of the more dynamic offenses out there. So the Dolphins rolled Washington. They're number 4. Ravens are number 3, and I can't wait to see if there's a healthy Trevor taking on El Boogie Sunday night under the lights here. But the Ravens are number 3. The Cowboys are on the come. Okay, they are playing well, and I think we're going to find out. Obviously, this game against the Eagles is massive, but they're going to stay in the top 5 because I don't have the Eagles in my top 5, and I think the Cowboys beat them. And then I got Niners number 1. I mean, there's nothing else needs to be said.
Right.
They are the best team right now.
All right, last week Matt had the Ravens 5, Dolphins 4, Eagles 3, Chiefs 2, and the 49ers number 1.
All right, so I'm not buying the Cowboys yet. I'm just not.
Okay.
If they beat the Eagles, then I'm all right.
We heard your anti-Dak rant
Then they'll jump
on
into my
Monday.
Right. Then they'll jump into my 5. I got the Lions at 5. I got the Eagles at 4. I think the Eagles might have been exposed a little bit. Now, granted, the Niners are the Niners. Honestly,
Yeah, but the Eagles are out
They're the
right
most
now.
complete team. But I think the Eagles might have got exposed just a little bit. They've been kind of doing it with a lot of smoke and mirrors and the tush push.
Yeah. The hurt spurt.
Yeah. So I got the Eagles at 4. I got the Ravens at 3. They just keep winning, man. That's
Well, they didn't play last week. but
I know.
They
I know.
didn't
Still at the
lose.
top.
But there's something to be said for that. Like
Yes.
you go in, you take care of your business. I love the Dolphins, man. The only problem I had with the Dolphins earlier this year is that they were terrible on the road. They won their last 2 on the road against just the Jets and the Commanders, but it's still away from home, and they've won games, and they've won them convincingly. Now you look at their schedule. Now they got the Titans at home. They got the Jets at home. They got the Cowboys at home. 3 straight.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they got at Baltimore, then Buffalo at home. This is the team that, conceivably, you beat Dallas, you might be able to run it. You might be able to run it, or at least just finish with 1 more loss, and 13-4 might be enough to get you the 1 seed in the AFC. Should be enough, actually. And of course, the Niners have won. The Niners are the most complete team, no doubt.
All right, last week Leon had the Cowboys 5, Chiefs 4, Ravens 3, 49ers number 2, and the Eagles number 1.
Well, listen, I got the Chiefs exit stage right.
Wow.
They're all in my top 5. They're gone.
Out of mine, too, bro.
Yeah. So at number 5, I got the Ravens. Listen, El Boogie and them, they didn't play last week, but their defense is solid. The defense is absolutely solid. And I got the Cowboys number 4.
You're getting over the hate. I get it.
Yeah, they look good. Dak is looking good.
Yeah.
Defense
But you're like me. I sense the hesitation.
Yeah,
in your
I
voice.
really.
I'm
I
just
hesitate.
not buying in yet, man. I'm not.
No, I have to see how they play Sunday night against
Yeah.
the Eagles. All right,
Not
so
buying
that'll tell me a lot more about this team. So I got the Eagles at number 3. The 49ers have exposed a lot of teams this year.
Here, there.
Exactly. They make you feel that you're not as good as you think you are. Yeah. And trust me, we know that here in Jacksonville. Well, the Eagles, I got them number 3. The Dolphins, the Dolphins are quietly just kicking butt, bro. I don't know if it's quietly, but they're juggernaut offensively. Their defense is good. And that schedule that you just said, it's going. They're 7-0 at home right now. They haven't lost a game.
They're going to be
home.
the 1 seed.
They're going to be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
More than likely, they're going to be 1 seed. But I got them number 2 in the 49ers. They're the best team in the NFL, period, point blank. No comma, period.
Yeah, no comma.
Yeah, I agree. Last week I had the Jags 5, Cowboys 4, Niners 3, Eagles 2, and the Chiefs 1. I've finally taken the Chiefs off the number 1 spot.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty obvious who the number 1 team is, the 49ers. I still have the Chiefs number 2. I have the Cowboys 3.
Wait, back up.
Blinded.
Back up. Let's go back to
I
number
love
2.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's a man
I
crush.
do.
It's okay.
I do. I just think when the playoffs hit, sorry, Matt, you have the Dolphins too. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins.
He's Taylor Swift's BFF right now.
I have more trust in the Chiefs than I do Tua.
I have trust in Mahomes as well, but JJ, do you have any reservations about that wide receiver room?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the worst Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs team, I think, in probably, his whole career.
Yeah, do you think they regret letting Tyreek go now?
Well, no.
I don't know. They won
I
a
think
Super
they regret
Bowl.
selecting Sky Moore when they probably could have gotten somebody else.
But,
or trading for Kadarius
if they
Stoney.
get that pass interference, they beat the Eagles. They tripped up last week. All I'm saying, I got the Chiefs number 2, Cowboys 3, Eagles 4, and the Dolphins number 5.
All right, I'm going to try and work a bold fact in right now since we're on the NFL, and then we'll get ready for Rick Ballou, just so we can throw this out there.
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
Since 2008, they've been serving it up. Order up a Duke's, a Duval Light, a Bold City IPA, Killer Whale, whatever you think you might enjoy. All right, Sam Laporta, This guy is rocking and rolling, the rookie tight end. We talk about rookie contributions. I think it's fair to say old Laporta is coming through. He's the 4th rookie tight end in NFL history with at least 9 receptions, 140 receiving yards, and a touchdown in a game.
Hold on. A rookie tight end who's producing on the field?
Exactly. 9 grabs, 140 receiving yards, and a touchdown. The 4th all-time to do this. Can you name any of the others?
Strange.
Or it's just tight ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
4th tight end in NFL history.
Kittle's one.
Brenton Strange obviously is under consideration. The season's not over yet.
Kittle.
Greg Olsen.
I'm going to go
Just keep
Winslow.
going and I'll let you know when you got one.
Winslow?
Jeremy Shockey.
Gonzalez?
Evan Ingram.
Gates?
Olsen.
You haven't heard any of these yet?
No.
None of them?
Whoa.
No.
Are you serious?
Nope.
Not Goddard.
Witten?
Gronk.
Nope.
No Witten?
Nope.
Aaron Hernandez.
Are we going old school?
All
Is
right,
it
I'm
Mike
going to go.
Ditka?
I'm going to get through this because we got to
Crazy.
get Baloo up. These two of the 3 are old school, and the last one deserves a round of applause. Mike Ditka, back in 1961, a Hall of Famer, did it. That is a big number. 9 grabs, 140, and a score. Jackie Smith, the other one, did it in 1963. So those are 2 old schools. Don't know that you would have gotten them. Ditka pops up on a lot of tight end answers. But the last one did it in November of 1995, and his name is Pete Mitchell.
Yeah.
How about that?
Maverick.
Yes, Maverick did it. In the history books right there.
Nice.
You know he's driving around going, me! He's screaming at the radio, me!
Yeah, as he shot us the picture of him scoring against Leon's Miami Hurricanes. The only score they had that day, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou coming up next.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Travis Etienne scores in Jacksonville. Strikes first. Trevor dives into the end zone. He stuck the ball over the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Allen. Has he done enough this year yet? Wow. How good is that?
Got about a month of football left, and it's full steam ahead.
It's a quick turnaround.
It's really must-win mentality all the time. So, good Cleveland team we're about to go face. We got to right our wrongs, get back in the win column.
Next up, Cleveland, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
This holiday season, meet the Snow Queen in person at Small Cakes. Mia here and my friends at Small Cakes are hosting a free character meet and greet with the Snow Queen at all 3 locations, starting at Small Cakes' brand new location in Mandarin this Saturday, December 9th. Take photos with this amazing character, plus there's a frozen activity sheet. All Snow Queen meet and greets are from 1 to 3 p.m. We hope you and your little ones will join us for these opportunities to meet the Snow Queen in person. Get details online at smallcakesjacks.com.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career, watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life
in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 7, 1985, the 51st Heisman Trophy winner was recognized as Bo Jackson after rushing for 1,786 yards and 17 touchdowns.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. It's getting chilly outside, but you can enjoy the outside inside with a new glass lanai from Lifetime Enclosures. Or look ahead and get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. And for the time being, you can stop into Lifetime Flooring to enter to win $20,000 in free flooring during the Score Free Floors promotion. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway and proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision, and equal opportunity employer.
All year long you'll be singing our song. Stay cooler with Bueller. At the head of our class we make it happen fast. Stay cooler with Bueller. For heating and air we always play fair. We make the difference 'cause we really care. Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house, and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash. You can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
The Army-Navy Game Watch Party is presented by the City of Jacksonville Military Affairs and Veterans Department. Watch on the world's largest screens with a kids zone and free admission or donation. Gates open at 2 for the Army-Navy Game Watch Party at Everbank Stadium.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The big question outside of should Trevor Lawrence play or not is, does he have enough time to get ready on a short week?
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the week. Obviously, New Orleans, I didn't know until right before the game, but this is a short week, but that was a really short week, so we'll have a couple more days than we did then, which is nice, but still lost a day playing on Monday night, so I guess that's just the way it's been going this year with some of that stuff. But, you know, I'm really just taking it one day at a time. I'm trying to do as much as I can each day without, you know, aggravating it or making anything worse, but trying to progress towards, you know, hopefully playing. Like, that's the goal.
Trevor Lawrence on how things are trending towards Sunday's game against the Browns. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Stepping to the podium right now is our man Rick Ballou. I got a feeling we're going to let him hit the gavel and take off as we talk about who's not. Welcome in, Ricky B. How are you?
Joe, I got this beautiful Christmas present from 1010XL. It's a medium Los Angeles Dodgers shirt.
Oh, really? Can I buy that off of you or pry that off of you?
Well, let me guess. You got a Boston Red Sox shirt or maybe a Florida State shirt?
I don't know, but let me just tell you this, pal. There's a present waiting for you on your desk, and it's more than that. It's more than that. I think you'll be pleased because I had something set aside for you for a while, and now I'm just going to include it with that other one. So I love it. I love it.
All right. I look forward to presents. That's good.
Now, what present was delivered or Cole under the Seminole Christmas tree when the College Football Playoff Committee came out?
Yeah, I can't say I'm not shocked by it. I obviously thought they should have gotten in, but I don't know if I said it to you guys or, I said it to the afternoon show. I certainly said it on my own show, and JJ and I talked about it as well. I thought Alabama winning would be the doom and gloom for Florida State, but I also thought Alabama winning would have included Georgia. What we saw is that Alabama wasn't the problem here. The problem was Texas beat Alabama, and you couldn't put Alabama in without putting Texas in. So most of the people that I've heard from are expressing anger towards the committee because of the selection of Alabama, and that's wrong. It's because Bama lost at home to Texas, and no one uses the media better than Nick Saban. Look at all the opportunities he used during the offseason to question the 4-team college football playoff. Nick Saban and coaches all across the league forever say, I don't look at the point spread. I don't know who's favored. I don't know this. I don't know that. Well, he grabbed the podium and said if we were in the college football playoff last year, remember they lost 2 games by 3 points. Mm-hmm. He said they would have been favored over 3 of those 4 teams, and he was correct. The only team they would have been an underdog against was Georgia. So he had it set up where the committee had to consider Alabama, and frankly, they deserve to get in. You knock off the number 1 team, they did deserve to get in, and Nick Saban has more street cred. He has more power than anyone else in college football. There's no way that committee was going to look at him and say, after knocking off the number 1 team, you are not in. But again, in my opinion, the problem was not Bama. The problem, Texas was behind Florida State by at least 3 spots the entire season. The entire season, from week 1 on, they were at least, and then you put up, 50 points, but it's a number 7 against a number 17, and you move up 4 spots, and Florida State finally drops 1 spot, even though they were the 4th-ranked team that won by double digits and covered over the 14th-ranked team. It doesn't make any sense if you look at it that way based on the rankings.
So, Rick, number 1, I agree with you completely. Number 2, I was saying this on Saturday night that Alabama doesn't have a Texas problem. Georgia has a Texas problem. That was the whole thing. Because if you're really going to say the 4 best teams is what they look for, okay, how in the world is Georgia not one of those 4? Georgia should have been there instead of Texas if you're really going to look at it that way. Yeah. So that's what, if I'm a Florida State fan, that's what ticks me off more than anything, is you're telling me it's the 4 best, yet your number 1 team went from 1 to 6.
Right. I mean, this entire situation is completely blown up. It's like Boo Corrigan looks at the television camera and says, we feel so bad for you, Florida State. This is awful. You're almost in. You're 5. You're just barely outside the surface. Oh, by the way, you're getting number 6 Georgia, and you're a 15-point underdog.
Right.
Okay? Think about that. They put the number 6 team in and said that they're a 15-point favorite over the number 5 team. It's just another example of looking at this and saying it is so messed up. But here's the deal. Florida State's got a loud voice, but it's not as loud as Texas. It's not nearly as loud as Alabama, and that selection committee now is just allowing time to go by, and what they're going to say is, well, this is why we needed a 12-team playoff. And there's other scenarios that crawl into this, okay? Jim Phillips, who is terrible at his job. Joe, you and I go every year. You know I've been all over his ass. This isn't a Florida State thing. This is a conference thing. You and I have had many conversations about this. He's totally not qualified for this job. He put together this silly alliance. If you allowed the 12-team college football playoff, it already would have been in effect this year. But he got together with the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and they started pillaging, obviously, from that conference, from the Pac-12. So that was Jim Phillips. He's got a lot to blame as far as this is concerned. And, you know, I also think the other story is Florida State's Board of Trustees saying that they're better than the ACC, saying that they need more money, and publicly unloading that instead of privately doing it. I would not be surprised if Jim Phillips and Boo Corrigan were kind of like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to lose some money here, but let's show Florida State this in the final year of the 4-team college football playoff.
Oh, a little conspiracy.
Yeah.
I like
Rick,
that.
speaking of conspiracies, one more, just because you've had 48 hours now to marinate since I initially asked you about it. Patrick Payton entering the transfer portal. Does that signal a white flag of FSU may not be who we think they will be next year? Is it a bartering opportunity for him to make a little bit more money, or something else entirely?
No, it's all about cash for Patrick Payton. I mean, that's what it's about. And I still think this is a very fluid situation. I think FSU has an opportunity to bring him back unless something's happened in the last 30 or so minutes that I've missed. He wants to get paid. He deserves to get paid. If you were to look at Florida State's roster, okay, and this is with the belief that a lot of these underclassmen are going to the NFL. Patrick Payton's the most important guy you got to bring back. He is far and away number one. So if you're paying current guys on the roster, he's got to make the most amount of money. He flirted with this a year ago a little bit. Joshua Farmer did the same. So I do think that Florida State is still in the running to bring back Patrick Payton. The flip side of this is it's incredibly important for Mike Norvell not to lose him. The other transfers I'm okay with. I did like Marquiston Douglas a little bit as a blocking tight end. I was a little bit surprised by that. But, you know, that's a position that I think you can go ahead and find a couple of other players to bring in one of the better recruits this year in all of high school football at the tight end position. Patrick Payton is a leader. He's probably their best player who is returning. So if you lose him, yeah, that's going to hurt a little bit. The message is going to be what is going on at Florida State. These next couple of weeks are enormous for Mike Norvell. He's got a top 3 recruiting class of incoming freshmen. He's got to keep them. And the guys that he wants to remain on this team, the NIL has to find a way to keep them happy as well, because, you know, there is going to be a little bit of cloud hanging over Tallahassee of the feel sorry for me type of atmosphere. And that's a tough thing to try to get through. And so, you know, it's a massive challenge coming up here for Mike Norvell.
They're just trying to get the staple out of the blue wallet just to kind of help the collective a little bit. All right, so we're turning you loose, but tonight there's plenty more.
Tonight. Oh, yeah. Tonight's a lot of fun. You know, I don't know if I'll have any more on that. Mm-hmm. I feel like you guys just squeezed. I'm like a Crest. I'm like a tube of Crest. And you guys just squeezed the last out of me as far as this Florida State thing. I mean, I just, you know, it's like I just can't do it anymore. It's time to move on. So tonight we do have some college football things that we'll get into, particularly the very latest. With the transfer portal, a lot on the Jaguars. It'll be interesting to see what that injury report looks like when that comes out later today. And boy, it just feels like it's trending more and more towards Trevor possibly playing this weekend, which to me is just bizarre. I wouldn't play him. It's easy for me to say that. I wouldn't play him. But, yeah, we got all that. Sean Merriman's going to join us. He's got a big fight card coming up Saturday night, bare knuckle fighting, and Sean's always good to talk to the Jags about. Now, I guess I will be a hypocrite here and ask him about the college football playoff since we're going to have the chance to talk with him. So all that's coming up tonight, 6 to 8.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. At Baloo 1010XL, and then the 6 o'clock into the night launch.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. keeping the sports world spinning with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Embedded and shredded, he joins us now. Hey, he's ready to rock and roll.
We are ready. Greg McGarity is going to join us, talk about that great Gator Bowl matchup and everything that went into that, get his thoughts also on Florida State not making the playoff and what it did to the ACC side of that bowl selection. So it should be a lot of fun. All that coming up on the Frangie Show. Tons of Jaguars, Gators as well.
Thank you, dude. Clemson and Kentucky is going to be a good game.
How does Dabo feel about Amelia Island in December? That's the real big question I have.
Yep, they're all going to be happy with it, that's for sure. Frangie Show coming up next, but first.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
My takeaway is there's at least one report out there that Marvin Harrison Jr. and Travion Henderson have been offered NIL deals that rival first-round pick money, and Marvin Harrison has said he still wants to beat Michigan. He wants to win a Big Ten title. He's leaving the door open, potentially going back to the Buckeyes.
My take is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence playing in this game Sunday. He's practicing. He's moving around, throwing the ball. Whatever flexibility class he's taking, I need to take.
I mean, my take was going to be Gators related, but after that from me, well, he could be the second overall pick, so if he's going to give up $36 million,
it's a lot.
Either Ohio State's got a lot of money or that's just a bad decision.
A lot of Buckeyes right there. A lot of Buckeyes. My takeaway is somebody just took Trevor Etienne away from me. Okay, the joy in my heart is gone. Wish you luck, number 7. All right, we are out. We got the Frangie Show coming up next. We've got plenty as we head into the weekend, so stick around right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Surson, JJ.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010X.